Hello, we are live. Hi, this is Jenny Walker, and welcome to Jenny Goes Closet. This is my YouTube channel where it's all about styling, reselling, and consignment. So I am melting because it's so hot here in Pasadena. I'm like, oh man. So through the sweat and all of this, I'm going to show you my hauls. Really excited to show you some of the stuff I have. And I always like to go ahead and do this because I don't like to list anything until I've shown it. So there you go. So went to the Goodwill bins today with my friend Michael and found a lot more stuff than I thought. A lot of stuff, it's heavy stuff. So it's just unfortunate that it weighed more than I wanted. Not that it was expensive, just because it were heavy pieces. And I found some things at the Goodwill store and a couple of trips there, and just want to show you what I found. And I think it represents, as I continue to hone what's in my closet, as I continue to figure out what I want to be selling. I did have a booth at the PCC flea market this past Sunday, and it was very eye-opening to see what people were buying. They bought a number of things that were bins finds that I've been unable to sell other places. And so it makes me think about, in terms of turning inventory, there's obviously selling it yourself online on Poshmark, on eBay, et cetera, but selling at a thrift event like the Rose Bowl has a big thrift event once a month. PCC, which is here in Pasadena, it's a college, has one once a month. And it's a really interesting way to move pieces that aren't moving these other places, maybe because it's the wrong audience, maybe it's too vintage, maybe. So I was really, really fascinated with what sold. So I'll go into that. But so I'm burning up in my apartment, but I'm going to do this. So the first thing I found, somebody tried to grab these out of my hand. You know how people think they're so sneaky. Like, is that for you? Is that your size? Like, get away. But I found a pair of, I don't do much with sneakers, but I wanted to learn. And so I found these Kobe, they're called Kobe KB9s. They're from the bins, so they've got some problems. Not so many problems they won't sell. But new, like on the hot on StockX, these are $350. I think I saw online somebody was selling a new in the box pair for $450 at Stadium Goods, maybe it was called. But the used pair, they sell anywhere from like $50 to like $100, depending on condition. And so these have one major flaw, which is they're ripped. Well, they're like, you know, the stress here on the sides, they're kind of ripped here. And what I think this is good is for the person who's a sneakerhead, but who also wants to wear a pair. So here's a pair you can wear, right? That you can wear every day and be seen in them and not just have them sitting around in your closet for flipping. And now there's dirt on the toe. There's stress in each of those parts. But they haven't been worn that much, but because they're lightly colored, the dirt is kind of there. I'm not going to try to do one thing to these things. I did, clean off the bottom a little bit. You can see where that's ripped there. So yeah, maybe $1 at the bins. Nike Kobe KB9 from 2015. Yeah. So that was my first kind of exciting sneaker find at the bins, and so we'll see how that goes. Now, I bought more than I would men's stuff, but men's stuff does sell, but I just thought these were cool. They're distressed shorts with roses all on them. So this is kind of ironic, obviously. Men wearing roses. But I just thought they were super cool. They're black and white. They're in keeping with my closet. This is by Primitive Apparel. It's got not European side, but by Primitive Apparel. I don't know the brand. I just thought it was super cool. They're size 38. And if I was a guy, I would totally wear these with just, sneakers and a tank top for summer. They're nice and faded. So hopefully someone will buy those. This next is just a dust bag for John Varvatos for Converse. My lighting is, as I'm known for, terrible lighting. But Converse John Varvatos dust bag for that collaboration that he did. I picked that up at the bins. This, I have no idea what it is. So because of all of my selling, I really like dust bags for storing things, especially shoes. And this is a humongous dust bag, and I do not know what the symbol is. Maybe one of you know. Is this right here. So I have no idea what symbol that is, but this is gigantic, ginormous dust bag. You know, it's probably like, looks like for a car. Like, it looks like something like a car something would come in. But yeah, that's what this is. Ginormous, great for storing things in. So I got that. This is, let's see, this is a Puma sweatshirt. It's in really great shape considering the color. It was really cool because it was like extra wide at the bottom. It's got a very wide shape to it. And this pocket in the front with the little Puma on there, hoodie. I thought this was super cool, and then it kind of gets narrow on the sleeves. I'm assuming this is a woman's. I have no idea. But it says size US small P, so it could be a man's. But anyway, I thought that was super cool, and if it doesn't sell, it's something that I can just wear myself. I don't do too much athletic stuff, but I did see a few things today, so we'll see how that goes. This is by the brand COS, C-O-S. They're online. These are just a pair of black with pockets, super wide leg pants, like cropped pants, with elastic in the waist. So this is going to fit a lot of people. So if you like this brand, and the fabrics are really cool. It's some sort of between a nylon and a polyester, and it's a nice weight, and it's an interesting fabric. And I think a lot of times when it comes to shopping, whoa, I fell. Hold on. You know, people, they like to go for quality, but they also like to go with fabrics that are interesting. And I think this definitely qualifies. So, little COS brand. So hopefully I'll find someone for that. And that's in keeping with the things in my closet. So this, I don't want to buy too many pants these days because they really just don't move very fast unless they're interesting. So I found a pair of very interesting BCBG pants. And they are, they've got this big flat front with 3 buttons, but then they're like this wide leg crop. They're super wide leg crop, if you can see that. And I think these were, and they have this seaming down the front, if you can see it, this seam all the way down the front. So between the seams and they're cropped, I'm going to stand up, maybe you can see these a little better. They're just super, super cool. And I think for sure those are going to sell because they're interesting. And when you do basic pieces like I do a lot of black with little pops of color in my stores, then the pieces have to have something about them that makes them interesting. Otherwise, they're just going to get lost in a sea of other black pants. Now, when I lived in New York, I did a lot of boxing. Boxing as a workout, not boxing as competition. And I learned about this brand called Tap Out. And I actually bought these pants for myself. Tap Out. And there's such a great story behind this. It's a very homegrown brand that's done really well, being a part of that community. When you get involved in boxing, it really is a community. That's one of the most exciting things about it. And I lost a ton of weight. I was in really great shape at that time. And you have nothing but support from people who are, you know, in the sport with you. And so I learned a lot about the brands. That's how I came up with my Jenny Girl brand, was because of the boxing. And I have a whole line of boxing wear. But anyway, so yeah, Tap Out. This is for me to wear when it gets colder. So let's see what else. Just bought a basic animal print scarf. I wasn't going to get it unless it had a brand on it because I've learned do not buy a scarf without a brand because it's just going to be lost. But this was by Aldo, so it's not a designer brand, but it is a brand. And so I feel like because there's a brand on it, I'll be able to sell this really cool scarf for fall. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Next, I rarely buy anything by this brand, but this I thought was super cute. This is cut for the cloth, ankle flare in a blue velvet. And this is a really cool royal blue velvet with, just as they said, a cropped kind of raw hem at the bottom. And this is a really good brand, sold in places like Macy's and other department stores. So I thought I'd give those a chance. These I thought were interesting. I don't do too much J. Crew, but this is J. Crew toothpick. And look at these. Green with bows on them. St. Patty's Day, here I come. Can you say preppy? And they are quartz, corduroy. So there's a lot of heft to these. These are size 28. So yeah, I thought those were super cool. And this is going to stand out in my closet. And what I've learned is on Poshmark is it's really that little box has got to capture people's attention, right? So there's people are scrolling and scrolling, and there's something that pops if it's colorful, if it's different, that catches their eye. They're more apt to stop and take a look at that. And I had this mustard yellow velvet coat that just sold immediately, and I know it's because it stood out because I bought the same coat in black, exact same coat. I found it. And no one's even liked it yet. So it tells you that the color made all the difference. So this is a brand I have only seen once before, and I found it at the bins today. This is, you know what? This is not what I thought it is. I thought this was God Save the Queen. It is not God Save the Queen. I looked at it so fast. This is Mary Green. Anyway, I liked it. It's good enough to have been God Save the Queen. It's silk, very sheer dress, super sexy with floral print. I don't know the brand because it's not the brand I thought it was, so I don't know if anybody's going to buy it. We'll find it. We'll find out. Everybody knows Uniqlo has a very loyal following. This is the first Uniqlo thing I've ever bought at the bins, but it's a navy polyester knife pleat skirt, like midi length. And this is a nice classic piece that I know someone is looking for. A little more athletic wear. I got these Nike pants. They are really cool because they're very lightweight and they have snaps all the way down each side. These are super cool, wide legs. And they look like someone wore them once or never. I would say once. And they ended up at the bins. So there you go. Snaps everywhere, pockets. And, well, does it have pockets? Wait a minute. Maybe that's why they got rid of them. No pockets. No pockets. That's why they got rid of them. No pockets. And they couldn't have pockets and snaps, I guess, at the same time. Anyway, Nike always sells. Now, this is a brand that is vintage, not super vintage like 60s or anything, but I have not seen this in ages. It's called Trellis Cooper. And when I saw this in these sleeves, I just could not be more excited. Look at these sleeves. One, it's not black, so we're excited about that. This beautiful, like, salmon color dress, shift dress with humongous sleeves. And you can wear it as a dress or a tunic. You see what this is made out of. Silk and viscose blend, made in China. Yeah, I have not seen this brand in ages, but the sleeves just basically stop me in my tracks. And so I feel like when it's that different, we have a good chance of getting that sold. I found a swimsuit by Speedo, I think. Yeah, Speedo. This is a large, but it's a plus size, like a 16, just classic black with white. That'll go great in my closet because I have so much black and white in there. I don't do too much Lucky Brand, but I couldn't help myself because these are vintage Lucky. And when it's at the binge, because what's great about these are men's Lucky jeans is the fly says Lucky You. They got a sense of humor. So anyway, yeah, these are men's vintage Lucky, size 38, American made. You can tell they're super old, and they've got a higher waistline than you might find today. They're like dad jeans almost. So we'll see if I can find a home for those. My favorite find of the day is this kimono. Now, this is a real kimono, not like a modern kimono. And the print is just fantastic. And kimonos always sell. They always sell. Even if you're trying to purge inventory and you want to do buy-sell trade, you're going to pull out the kimonos. When I went to Wasteland and got rid of a bunch of stuff, they bought all of the kimonos. And they'll be buying this one if I don't sell it myself. Because I know they will not pass this up. So this is from the bin, so it only cost me like $1 or $2. And worst case scenario, you sell it to a Wasteland and they put like 100 and something on it. So you're going to get like $30, $40 for it. So let me show it to you. The print on this is fantastic. Very, very interesting. Vintage. It's quite large, oversized kimono, complete with kimono style sleeves. So really, really excited about that find. It's got some stains on it, but basically nobody cares when you're dealing with kimonos if it's stained or not. This is more menswear I got. Again, I don't do too much of this, but this is Boss, Hugo Boss. Bold. This is some special version of Hugo Boss. I don't know what it is, but this is Irish linen. It's amazing linen jacket in gray with pinstripe. And it doesn't look outdated at all. It looks very modern. And that's why I wanted to give it a shot, because Hugo Boss has a good following. That's a jacket that can be worn alone. It doesn't have to be part of a suit. This little belt with little conchos on it, I found at the bins. Now it has this tag on here that says Jessica Simpson. There's no way this is a Jessica Simpson piece. Why? Because it's not signed. So I'm going to take this off because I don't believe that this is Jessica Simpson. I really don't. It just doesn't look like something she would do. And it's not marked Jessica Simpson anywhere on here, other than that little plastic tag, which makes me think. This is not sterling silver conchos. I mean, if you find those, I mean, you've done really well. But this is a nice little faux concho belt. That'll do really well. Makes fun noise. Let's see what else. So this jacket I got for myself. I know I shouldn't be buying for myself, but I did. This is by Laundry, which I've learned nobody wants laundry for any reason at any price. So, so this is going to probably end up being mine. It's just a nice black blazer, one-button blazer. So don't get too excited. I'm not going to spend that much time showing for you, because that's just something for me. I did find dust bag for Toomey, a big giant suitcase cover. Now I could either sell that or just use it, to store things. Next, I have another dust bag. Again, these I'm not buying to resell necessarily, and to store things in. This is a brand I had never heard of. Francis Valenti. I don't know who that is, but nice large size, which is really good for storing boots. This dress I did buy for me. It's new with tags. Never heard of it. Zanzia. It's just a cheap little rayon dress, but it's red and it's kind of drapey. So that's going to be for me. I'll be wearing that to work tomorrow probably. So let me show you something else I got. This was super fun. This is a Bill Elliott Budweiser metal airplane. It's missing the prop, but I think the prop is inside, because when you shake it, there's something that rattles around. And inside this little cap is a slot, and they're calling this a bank. I do not think this is a bank. But anyway, this is from 1993. They don't sell for too much on eBay, but I'm hoping that someone will want this. It's a Budweiser or Bill Elliott fan. Super cool. Flying away. That was at the bins. Now, this is from the Goodwill store. Now, this is a wonderful brand to pick up. Acris Punto, and the sizing is always underneath the tags. This is a size. Anyway, I won't tell you the size. There's a really cool, like, textured tweed beige jacket. These jackets are literally thousands of dollars. If you ever see this brand, be sure and grab it. It doesn't mean it's going to sell well on Poshmark. I think that's the worst place to put it, but maybe on ThredUp, Lux, maybe on eBay. But this is super cool, and this was $9.99 in the regular Goodwill store, and that'll sell for a couple $100 if someone can find it. Okay, it's hot in here, and you see I'm sweating on camera. I'm so sorry. This is a really nice brand. This is a designer brand that people don't really talk about. Roberto Cavalli. Now, this brand is fighting bankruptcy right now. And this is the lower line, Just Cavalli. They have Roberto Cavalli and then Just Cavalli. It's a really cool black, interesting textured crinkle dress with like this really cool pocket on the front. They are not known for stuff like this. They are known for, think Versace, and that's really, their style is more like Versace. It's very sexy for women. It hugs their curves. A lot of things are cut on the bias. So this is just an odd little shift dress, but it's interesting, and it's a brand people do look for. So that was $8.49. Vince, this is a brand that does sell for me. I sold a green silk dress recently, shirt, but this is a Vince newer tag. Just a little silk over blouse. It's almost like a snake print. Sheer, nice for summer or fall. That was like $5, so $6.49. Wild Fox, I do very little with Wild Fox, but I specifically, what is wrong with me? Specifically, I'm hallucinating because it's so hot in Pasadena. I specifically got this because I wanted to test my theory that big graphics will sell. So this has 2 American flags on it. They're like vintage flags, almost. They're not Confederate flags, but they feel like they're old like Confederate flags, although it's not the Confederate flag. Maybe I should count the stars. Yeah, this really cool like Americana print. I just want to test that out. Because I did so well at the PCC flea market, and there's this really interesting vintage customer I've stumbled upon. This is a very, very long crystal necklace that I got at the Goodwill store. It's different because it's long and you can knot it up. These things are generally chokers, and they're generally not clear. This was $5.99, and I think I'll be able to sell that the next time I go to the PCC flea market or to the Rose Bowl. Now this I'm very excited about because it's new with tags, and it's not black. It's very much a pop of color. This is an Anthropology brand, $88 original price, called Saturday Sunday. And it's this beautiful mustard color, silk satin cut on the bias skirt. And it's got some really interesting seaming on it. I got this at the Goodwill store. I did pay a premium for it. I paid $11.99. Normally skirts are $5.99. But because it is new with tags, original price was $88. And because this color sold immediately in the crushed velvet jacket that I had, I thought I would give it a try. Coordinating with that is this super cool mustard vintage sweater with fringe. And the reason I got this is because I did so well at the PCC flea market and felt really good about that. I'm just going to, I'm not here to do vintage. I'm actually trying to get out of vintage, but I wanted to try to see if it was possible to source vintage on purpose. This was $3.99. Really cool. It feels like 100% wool. And that pop of color is going to draw people's attention. So I want to see how that does. Just Cavalli. Here's another skirt. It's a distressed denim skirt, a little bit of a high-low. This was $5 at the Goodwill. I'm hoping people who love that brand are going to look for that. And this is another, the next two pieces are I bought specifically to test at the PCC flea market or the Rose Bowl. I specifically bought this, a really, really cool black velvet leg of mutton sleeve. And then there's like faux pearls on the end. Really, really cool, like a mock turtleneck style. There's absolutely no brand in here, no size, but it does not matter because when it's this cute, this is going to sell on style, but that sleeve is just something else. And it's got all its buttons in place, and it zips up the back. And that is something that's vintage that you can wear today. It's very modern, and so you wear that with some black skinny jeans and some boots for fall, and you'll just look amazing. Now, this is the find of the day. And the reason this is the find of the day is I'm thinking about joining this online marketplace called First Dibs. And I have submitted my application. I've talked to some people there. It is very expensive to use their platform. So I'm not sure what the timing will be. But this dress is specifically, I got it because not only is it great for First Dibs, it is something that can coordinate and be with my vintage clothes at a PCC flea market or at the Rose Bowl flea market. This is David Hayes. Now, David Hayes' claim to fame was dressing Nancy Reagan, and so that means he was popular in the 80s. This dress is 100% silk. It's got all its buttons, and it's a nice 80s style I want to show you with this pleating on the bottom and then gold buttons on the sleeves. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, that is probably one of the most beautiful things I have seen in a long time that's vintage, and it doesn't appear to have any flaws. And this is something that would sell for hundreds and hundreds of dollars on First Dibs if you can find, because not only is David Hayes, people are really starting to pay attention to his things. Because, you know, obviously dressed Nancy Reagan, lots of other people in his heyday. But this piece, just on style alone, is going to sell. The fact that it's also designer, it's also Saks Fifth Avenue, it's 100% silk, it's lined, it's in perfect condition. This is perfect dress for fall with some knee-high boots and tights. I mean, that's totally a New York dress right there. That is going to sell, and that will sell for hundreds of dollars. And I will report back when it's sold. Now, if I were already on First Dibs, this is definitely something I would be listing right now to put up on that site, because this brand, they do carry on there, and it is in pristine shape. But I'm not on First Dibs yet. So this is going to go on Poshmark. It's going to go on eBay and go be ready for the next time I have a little thrift vintage flea market event. This I got because this is my girl. My girl likes black and white. This is a classic American Apparel skater skirt. And, you know, it's just like $5.50, $5. I mean, this will sell like between $30 and $40, hopefully. But these original American Apparel is now people looking for it because they closed all their stores. Another firm took over. They're online only, and it's not the same. Qualities, everything has changed. So those original pieces and the people who love the simplicity of this brand are going to look for stuff like this. So this is super cute and perfect for my closet. And I think that's everything. Yep. Don't see anything else. So that's everything I got. Now behind me is my Moschino piece of the day. Red, white, and blue color scheme on the show The Nanny. She did wear that in one of the episodes. But this is the brown, black, and ivory version. And I've got two of these. And that is my piece now. So to see more of the Moschino collection that I have, the person who's in charge of my social media has just put it all over Instagram. She's doing a great job. Please definitely check that out. If you haven't been to my Instagram, it's Jenny Girls Closet, CLOS.
I didn't get that.
Ooh, that was Siri. Ooh, sorry, Siri.
Yes.
Siri's talking to me. It's giving me chills. Anyway, so anyway, definitely check out my Instagram because that's where I'm putting all the Moschino and definitely check that out. And that's it. That's my haul for today. And I do want to say, being at the PCC flea market on Sunday was really a lot of fun. It's interesting. I didn't have the best spot in the world. I was a couple of floors down in the parking garage. And the reason I didn't ask for an outside space is I didn't have access to a tent. Well, I now have access to a tent. So the thinking is the next time I would do something outside, I think I have an opportunity to have a lot more people come by. It'll be brutal because it'll be hot as heck. But it was really, really fun in a completely different group of people. And there's something about seeing pieces in person. Let me tell you some of what I sold. I sold a 1980s style Armani, a 3-piece silk suit. It was beige. I had tried to sell this on my own. No luck. I had taken it and it had been rejected by at least 3 different crossroads. It had been rejected by Buffalo Exchange. It had been rejected by Wasteland. But I sold it. I paid $19.99 for it, and I sold it for $50 at the PCC flea market. Interesting. Also, while I was there, I sold a hat, a black hat that I had bought at the bins for like 50 cents. I sold it for $40. I sold a black handbag that was broken, that was vintage, that I had bought at the Goodwill store for $7.99, and I didn't know it was broken myself. And one of the screws was out, and so I had taken it to Crossroads, wanted it. Well, they saw it was broken. They declined. This vintage store, Squaresville, wanted it, but when they saw it was broken, they declined. So when I took it there and I got somebody to give me $10, I called it a day. I got $10. I got my money back. I made $2, and it was damaged, so I was happy about that. So that sold. I also sold a vintage wool coat for the winter coat to someone for $50. Let's see, I sold a pair of knee-high, really, really interesting leather boots with top stitching. I think they were from Mexico. I found those at the bin, sold those for $65. Let's see what else. I sold a gown. And what else did I sell? I sold about 7 things total. And I sold a Periella skirt that had been rejected by everybody, rejected from the bin, not the bins, had been rejected by Buffalo, had been rejected by Wasteland, had been rejected by 2 Crossroads. And I was able to sell it for $45 there at the PCC flea market. And I had paid, $5 for it. So it just goes to show that when you do what I call retail triage, which is trying to find the best outlet for what you have, sometimes that's going to be a flea market. It's a different customer. Maybe it's a different online platform. Maybe it's a really high-end platform like First Dibs. What I'm learning is that every platform has a different customer base, and you've got to put the right stuff on the right one. Even if you put everything on every platform, that doesn't mean that they're going to sell well on there. And perhaps it might even detract. This vintage that I have in my Poshmark closet, I actually want to take it all out. And I don't really want any vintage in there because I'm really trying to get more consistent. But if I do keep it in, it'll only be pieces that look like they match and look like they go with everything else in there. I think for me, my challenge is staying focused because I love clothes of every style, not every style, but every time period. And it's really hard when you're outsourcing to walk by something that's vintage and just walk by. I mean, it just be like, okay, I don't do vintage. And it's really, really difficult because I've seen so many beautiful things. And so, I can't be all things to all people, but if I'm there and I see it and it's I need to see what I can do to give it a new home, because it would just be a crime and a shame for it perhaps to go unnoticed. That doesn't mean another vintage person wouldn't pick it up, but I feel like it's a little bit of my duty to try to help give these things a new home, especially this David Hayes dress. That to me should be in the hands of someone who can appreciate the brand, appreciate the quality, appreciate the craftsmanship, the design of this, and be just really proud to wear it. It shouldn't be, that kind of thing shouldn't be just stuck anywhere. And when you go to a store like Squaresville, it's really interesting. It's what I would call low end. They're not trying to be a First Dibs. They're not trying to have the best of the best. They have what I call moderately priced to low priced items in there. So it's going to fit everyone's pocketbook. Nothing's going to be too expensive in there. Rarely is there anything over $100. And most things were $20. That was the average price point that I could glean from the store. So that's a different customer. That's a different piece of merchandise. People aren't going to be willing to sell it to them if it's too good at those prices. And so they really do carry to a particular audience. So when you think about the best way to dispose of something, the best way to liquidate, the best way to resell or to flip, those are all different phases of the same thing. Sometimes we get tired of looking at stuff. We just want to get rid of it, right? And so if you just want to get rid of it, you no longer care, then taking it to a buy-sell place is one thing. But what I learned with my buy-sell experience is that oftentimes what you were being given was less than what you paid for it. So if you're paying $5 for a skirt and you go to a Crossroads and they price that thing it's for $12.99, $6 in trade, $3-4 in cash, you've lost money, right? And when I did the math, is that it's better to take the lowest offer on Poshmark than the highest offer at a buy-sell trade place on many items, because you'll actually get more money. But what's interesting is trying to do a clear out on Poshmark that's intentional. In other words, you go through and you're like, these are all the things I really want to get rid of. But before I take it to a buy-sell trade place, let me see if I can put it really, really low and get someone to move it on Poshmark, because that's still going to be more than what I get when I trade it in or sell it to another store. So I'm trying some of that and see how that goes. And that's it. That's all I got to say for you. I'm sweating up a storm here in Pasadena. Like, I am literally glowing on camera from sweat. I've got the air going. It does not matter. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry my lighting sucks, but that's just the way it is. And I hope you got something out of all of this. Please find me on Instagram, Jenny Girls Closet. You can find me. There will be links below this video. My iTunes podcast has had over 14,000 streams on it, so definitely check that out. It's called Closet Conversations. I've talked all about the Real, ThreadUp, Poshmark, consignment, reselling, sourcing, how to identify luxury, all kinds of things like that. And if you like what you heard, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment. And click that subscribe button and certainly hit that bell icon, because I go on at all kinds of crazy times like tonight. I appreciate your support. It is a Monday night, and I hope y'all stay cool. I'm going to try, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.